So this right here shows exactly how much brighter those LEDs actually are. That is a substantial increase in output. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tenza Motorsports, and yes, we're doing another headlight video. It really is coincidental. There's just a lot of things that I want to show everybody what we're doing and all these unique special things you can do to make your headlights really stand out. A build can be completely ruined by headlights. If you've got all this done to it and then you've got like a set of really cheap eBay headlights with nasty halo rings that hardly work, it can absolutely drag the front end of your car down. Now, after doing a bunch of these headlight videos, I was reached out to by a company who does LED bulbs, AUXITO, and we are gonna be installing these today. Now, I've never done LED bulbs in the past. This is actually the first set I've ever put onto a car because they've always just kind of caused issues. They're constant dash lights and they burn out weird and all sorts of stuff. But these guys really have it nailed down. We're not getting any dash codes or anything like that, and I'll show that there is a dash code when the LED light is out, and then we'll plug it in and show that the dash code goes away. There are LEDs in here that take a converter resistor box. So the corner markers, the side markers, they actually come with a box that you have to install in the engine bay somewhere. And I just kind of tuck it up into the fender here for the corner marker, and that's so that you can run LEDs. The reason that you have to do some of that, well, for a couple reasons. One, the LED actually does need some of the components in there, and then the car itself will run a signal out to the bulb, and it measures that signal coming back. If that signal coming back isn't the right one, it'll actually think that the bulb is burnt out. Well, these don't send back the right signal, so you get on your dash light, you get lights saying, hey, your headlight's burnt out. And that's really annoying if you bought brand new, expensive bulbs to have dash lights come up. Yeah, they look cool, but that's not worth it. And you definitely don't want to go in the dash and black anything out like that. You don't want to basically ignore these lights, because there are other lights that come up in that area that if you black it out, then you're not going to see other things like your door open and little things like that. So this right here is what we'll be installing today. And if you're impressed with these as much as we have been, if you want to order yourself some, we will have a code linked in the description below. The code is Tenza to get 15% off your order. So without further ado, let's get these installed and see what they look like. So this is how they came to me. Very nice, well-built box. And it says here that they are high brightness, long lifespan, and easy to install. So I can verify the high brightness and the easy to install. Obviously, I've just put these on the car, so I can't comment on the long lifespan, but I have done a lot of research, and it looks like these are a fantastic choice if you're looking at doing some LED lights for your car. So if you open it up here, we'll get to see the bulbs. Now, one is already missing because one is installed. I did that to make sure that everything was working right, so I didn't have to send these back if they weren't going to be proper for the car. So here is the bulb, and they look absolutely awesome. But that's really all there is to it. It's a direct replacement. Then you also have the product manual here if you want to look that over. But let's actually see the difference between a halogen bulb and the LED light. Where I've got one LED in and one halogen in, we can actually turn on the lights, put them up against the wall, and you can see the difference between the two. You can see here on the right the LEDs and on the left the halogens. Now I'm actually going to come over here to the car and move the halogen bulbs and have them overlapping the LED bulbs, and you can see how much stronger the LED bulbs actually are. The halogen bulb is just completely getting washed out by the LEDs. So this right here shows exactly how much brighter those LEDs actually are. That is a substantial increase in output. On top of that, it looks a lot better too. You can see here the halogen bulb kind of has a yellow tint to it, and the LED has kind of a bluish white. All right, so the best way to do this is actually to pull the headlight out. I know that looks a little bit more intense than just kind of reaching back behind. And on this side, I think you would be fine. There's quite a bit of space on the driver's side, but the passenger side is full of way more wires and parts, and it's just a lot more difficult to get back behind there. So we're actually going to remove this headlight, and then I'll be able to better show what to do. And if you want to try doing this where you can't really see what's going on, then at least I've shown you what it looks like back behind there. So when you're doing it blind, you know what you're feeling for. Going on to the back here, and we're pulling this off. And then inside here is where we're going to be removing the halogen bulb. Pull straight up on this connector here. And this is actually quite warm. That's the other thing about these LEDs, is they do not get hot at all. So let's try to get this out of here without burning myself. Halogen bulb slides straight out. And then we'll be putting the LED one in the exact same orientation. And then before we put everything back together, we're going to plug it back in and make sure that it works. Super easy. Now, one thing I want to do is unplug it, show the dash light, and then plug it back in and show the dash light going away. Because one of the things that is notorious about putting LED bulbs in your car is getting dash lights. And I'm going to show that these don't throw any codes. I'm going to remove that. Bulb is off. And we'll go over here to the dash and we'll get to actually see that we're getting a dash light. So you can see there, dash light on the driver's side. And then we'll go back over here. We'll plug it back in. And then we'll get to see that that dash light goes away. So now the bulb is on, and then we're going back over here to the dash. You can see here that the light is no longer there. All right, before we wrap this video up, I want to do a quick update on the car. As you can see, the door handles are now on. I don't have the mirrors on quite just yet. And the other thing, if you can see on camera here, the car did get a cut and buff. We'll talk about that in a separate video where I go over my Mako experience in full. And if we come around here to the back, really excited to show the back of this car. That's what the taillights look like installed. I know that we showed those in a different video, but we didn't actually show them like in the car. We showed how to wrap this. We'll put the link to that up here. And then we also have the new badge that came in and put the latch back on. The back of the car is completely assembled at this point except for the rear bumper. We are getting some spacers from Hard Motorsport. That's a company that I use a lot for the race car, and what that's going to do for us is allow us to run these wider wheels. If you remember, again, we did have a fender roller and we had to roll these out really aggressively, and the rear bumper is still going to want to sit in a little bit and it'll probably rub, and we don't want these rubbing very much. So we're going to get some spacers. I think it pushes this piece out, which brings the bumper out just a little bit. I'm not quite sure exactly how they work. We'll do that when we get to that video. The rest of the parts is actually getting quite small of a pile. It looks kind of like a large pile still, but it's not. So this is everything that needs to go back in the car. I have a lot left to do. Stay tuned. It's all coming. If I didn't record anything and I just flat out worked on the car, I'd have it done in just a couple of days, but we are going to continue to document and show important things that come up as the project goes along. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Very happy with these Auxito lights. Again, if you are interested in these, I will have a link in the description and in the comments. All you have to do is check out their website so you can enjoy super bright LED headlights as well. Thanks again to Auxito for giving us the opportunity to install and test some LED lights. My first set, again, first set of LEDs I've ever put onto a BMW. It's been a fantastic experience. If we have any longevity issues, I'll bring them up, but I really don't see that happening. Like I said, I've done a bunch of research and it looks like these are really solid bulbs. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I do my best to reply to comments. If you have a question that's a little bit more complicated, I can make a video on it, so don't be shy. Ask away. Anything you need to know about this build or any other car we're working on. Also make sure to check out our Instagram. Link is in the description below. Tenza_motorsports. We do giveaways. All you have to do is follow us on there to be entered into any giveaway from here on out. Thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you in the next video.